Lisbon, hola, Hong Kong, hello, Sweden, hey, Toronto, good day, eh? Tokyo, konnichiwa. You peeps know, some of you do at least, that my name is Trudy Art. So we're here under the umbrella of the Universe Wallet, which is an indexer, explorer, minting, marketplace, all on tapwallet.io. Unleashing Bitcoin's full potential, making the Universe Wallet your all-in-one solution to manage all your assets in one place. You got full support for TAP, DMT, UNAT, Runes, BRC-20, LRC-20, Lambda, SRC-20 Stamp. We're going to be talking about that. Dust-20 and more. So listen, more. There is atomicals. They are coming. So very key that you watch out for that. If it's Bitcoin related, then more than likely the Universe Wallet is going to add it, because they're all about, making the Bitcoin user friendly for all of those that are interested in stacking sats. So it's a great place for tools. And I have given this reminder in the last, but I'm going to do it again, peeps. Maybe I didn't actually. Yeah, I missed this. How could I? This is not financial advice. You got to do your own research. And I'm being serious. And if you don't do your own research, well, that is going to fall squarely on your mirror. So listen, do you have water? I was sharing the last space, the clinging of my straw, because I have the water and I'm a little bit heated. So I got to take a sip of my water to calm down. I can rumble. If somebody wants to come up and rumble with me, I will rumble with you people. I'm drinking my water, okay? Yeah, get yourself a blood pressure monitor. I almost had to plug mine in to take my blood pressure because I didn't know what was going on there. But I do now, so I'm calm a bit, I think. And yeah, I have a third question now, and I'm going to ask it every time that I'm on here. What have you done for yourself lately? Yeah, what have you done for you lately? Mirror check. Ask yourself a question every day, and I'm not playing with you. My question today is, how can I stack more sats and get ready to change my bloodline? One of the ways that you can do that, I am going to go over this again for those that missed it. Yeah. Hey, Bitcoin Ape, I'm going to make you a speaker because I need you on here. So I do need to go over this, okay? Because it's part of housekeeping. There is a special mint going on. Yeah, go to tapwallet.io, okay? Head over to tools. You're going to click tools, go to IDO, move over to BRC-20, and bam, there is the symbols, BRC-20 symbols, okay? FEHU, BRC-20 symbol, IDO of the iconic symbols of the first etch runes and the first letter of the runic alphabet. Now the first BRC-20 with utility. Yes, with utility. If you hold just 0.05 of the supply, you can gain access, exclusive access to the first runes Telegram, alert, and copy trading bot. These bots are becoming quite the thing and very useful, and are providing some peeps that want to get an advantage with opportunity. So that might be a thing, okay? Now, there's no soft or hard cap here, people, but there's a timer. This is kind of like a pink sale. I did mention that before. Before when? On the last space that we had to shut down because of noise bombing. I got to get over this. I got to move on. Stop mentioning it. Okay, so we got 5 hours. 5 days. No, we don't got 5 hours. We got 5 days, 20 hours, 25 minutes, and 47 seconds for what? I'm going to repeat it again. Why? Because that's how people learn. You got to repeat stuff. For the BRC-20 IDO, FEHU, BRC-20 symbol, IDO of the iconic symbols of the first etch runes and the first letter of the runic alphabet. Now the first BRC-20 with utility. If you hold just 0.05 of the supply, you can gain access to the first runes Telegram, alert, and trading bot. Okay, peeps, so listen, the amount, I guess, that you'll be buying here is 0.001. Got to put your wallet addy in. Then you will choose the network fee. It is pretty slow today, so you should be good. And then your total position will be 0.001 BTC, which is currently equivalent to 2.89% of the supply. You can pay with BTC or that SOL. Yeah, you know that one, the SOL train. We'll talk about that. And yeah, there's 3 pages of addresses, folks that have already minted this. So go take a look at that. OMG. I need to make myself an appointment. Yeah, I need to make myself an appointment. I need to go get a massage or something after this. Or a facial. Oof. Okay. Requested. Who's request? Yes, approved. Bitcoin Ape. Oh my gosh, Bitcoin Ape. I just approved you to be a speaker. While that is happening, I'm going to just quickly talk about CAR. Yeah, we were talking about the wildness going on with the meme coin situation over in the Central African Republic. Oh God, yeah, I'll just that one more song. I like that song, and then I'll shut it off. But yeah, there's something going on there in the CAR, Central African Republic. Yeah, the official Twitter page for the president, who is the president of the Central African Republic, that would be Faustin Archange Touadéra. Okay, perhaps I did not pronounce that right. I apologize. And that is a new name that I am going to be learning because that is in the ex-post CT world right now. I'm telling you, they had to shut down the actual page because, I don't know, it might have conflicted with the rules of CT because there was some massive shilling. Who was shilling? Literally the president for his country dropping a meme coin on Solana, by the way, that went to #1. I'm not even making this up. Yeah, a president of a country dropped a meme coin, and that wasn't 47. Okay, let's follow the leader now. And the token went to #1, but now there's some stuff in the back rooms that are happening here. So the X had to remove the account or suspend the account for a bit. And I guess they're trying to work it out. So they have a new page that they set up, and they got a website. You know, I'm not telling you to invest in this because I said this is not financial advice. Personally, I have not invested anything in this. I'm very skeptical of most of the stuff that happens over there on Soul Pump Fund. There are some good projects, okay? There are. But this is wild. Bitcoin Ape, unmute yourself. How wild is this that countries are now just dropping meme coins like they're dropping, I don't know, like they're dropping lyrics, I guess.
GM, everyone. GM to the art, everyone. Hope you are doing good. You know, insane what's happening now with now countries are entering the the meme coin space. It's amazing. But you know, Touadéra, the name of the Central Africa country,
right,
is well known, in the crypto space, because a few years ago, I think it was in 2021, he created, he decided to set up Bitcoin as a ledger currency. So you can use Bitcoin in this country as a currency. And by the way, he's a mathematician. The president, yeah, he's a mathematician. He's a doctor in mathematics. So he well know how the technology is working. And I think he's a geek, president geek. He like, tech and I'm not quite surprised that this is the first country in the world now that is meme coining with a currency. Unfortunately, no, he's not doing good right now. CAR is CAR, CAR, the name of the currency of the crypto of the meme coin. I think it was sniped by some snipers in the on Solana or maybe but quite interesting. It shows that now meme coin and crypto is going mainstream, and for sure, more countries will follow. I find out that also the Congo in Africa, also the president want to create his meme coin, but I think it's a scam. It's a fake account for Congo, the Congo meme coin. But yeah, I think it's quite good that Central Africa is showing the way to other countries or maybe institution or company who will for sure follow and create their own meme coin. And as Murad say, I'm not agree 100% with everything he say, Murad. But yeah, everything will have his meme coin. Every world, every country, every institution, every companies, every jokes, every event, every micro event, every people, every name, every surname, every animals will get his, meme coin. So as you say, indeed, to the art is that we are entering the gamification of this space, and thanks to crypto now we can also financialize that kind of uh, of things.
Well, yeah. Thank you for that. OMG, that you were sharing with us that this guy is a mathematician and all that you did, because that's really interesting to get more information on him. I will say this, like, as I'm looking at what is happening right now, just some quotes here. So, despite initial concerns, there were some things that the project is doing right, they say. The token distribution matches its advertised tokenomics, according to token movement tracker bubble maps. However, it didn't stop it from obviously crashing. The market capitalization peaked at about 600 million before plummeting to around 35 million. So they who, I guess, the powers that be were concerned, like, what is going on here? But this post initially came from the president's account, the president of CAR. And CAR is just the acronym for the name of the country. Okay, people. So, which is the Central African Republic. They're a French speaking nation, by the way. Very interesting people that countries in Africa are English or French. Figure it out. Do your history. And he was speaking English in the video, so some figured that that might have been deep fake. And that's the thing with AI and so forth. It's really challenging to know, like, what's real and what's not. But it looks like this is real, and it in fact was from the president of of the CAR nation. So yeah, meme coins are dropping from world leaders, and here's what I'm going to tell you: my projection. No joke, people. Watch for it. There will be a G7 leader that drops a token. Yeah, I said it. There will be a G7 leader that drops a token. Okay, so you might think that that is crazy, but I don't think it's crazy, and I think it's going to happen. Bitcoin Ape, as crazy as that sound, who do you think of the 7 would be the first to drop a coin?
We got Trump already.
Well, yeah, he's done it, right?
Melania, he's done it already. So I think the first country with Melania and all the family show. Yeah, I think US, made it with Trump. So
Well,
it's amazing, that you got a president creating his own meme coin, by the way.
yeah, well, we got Trump, like you said. So, I mean, of the G7, you got Canada, you got France. Oh, can you imagine Canada? What would they do? They would do like hockey, like a hockey token. I don't know, maybe France. Somebody in the back room suggested to me that France might do a baguette. I don't know, people. Like, hey, we're just having fun here. There's Germany. What would Germany do? There's Italy. There's Japan. There's the UK. Yeah, can you imagine that? And as we know, there's the European Union, and there's the United States, which obviously you mentioned Trump and Melania have dropped their tokens. So one of the G7,
Japan,
what's
maybe.
that?
Maybe Japan as well. I think Japan could be the next one, no?
Yeah, what would they do? That would be so an anime token from the president. Luffy would be excited. Luffy'd be like, "We'll rep Japan. We'll rep Japan."
Excuse me, Trudy, we got Itzy. I think Itzy Crypto. She want to
Yes, let's
join it. If you
let's get her
if
in
you
here.
don't mind, please.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're gonna get her in here. Healthy, come on here and tell us what are your thoughts so far of what's happening out here in the cryptocurrency streets.
Yes.
What do you think of the meme coin that just dropped?
Yes, about the president meme coin of South Africa, I was it was very funny according to me. And I said the next one, maybe it's Macron from France, but it's not going to be very acceptable right now because Europe is against Bitcoin. And definitively, maybe the strategy is going to say someone hack my profile, then they go to take some advantage on it, and then after that they say, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. We hacked my profile on X. It was not me." And in fact, it was the person that's the president. Then is going to be maybe Macron, according to me, for the meme coin.
Oh gosh, that is hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
and talking about Bitcoin, oh my gosh, have you seen the wonderfulness of Bitcoin right now? Like Bitcoin is taking a nice dive. Again, Bitcoin saw a diving board and it's like, hey, why don't I just plunge? And that's what it's doing right now, which people don't be sad. Get out of these sad vibes. Every time Bitcoin moves down, this is just a fantastic opportunity for you to get in. How can you get in? You can get in by stacking sats. And some of the ways that you can stack sats, people, is through getting involved in the different projects in Bitcoin. Where will we go next? Let's see. I wanted to quickly talk about, can we talk about runes, guys, and what's happening over there?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, please, through the arts, please.
Hey, some people will like runes, some won't. They say runes are dead. I think that's a part of their spiel. Yeah, their spiel. They're trying something new over in the runes court there. Listen, peeps, personally, I do think there is going to be a pop off with runes, but there's an identity crisis going on here because runes was created initially so that there could be work for the miners. But let's head over to the mempool. Let's see how busy the miners are right now. Okay. Anybody looked at the mempool lately? Is it busy? Let me just take a
Things
look.
quite low right now, few cents or per transaction. Amazing,
busy?
mempool. Not that much, I think,
It's a little bit of a lineup, but you know what? Looks like runes is not hasn't done what it set out to do as of yet. The wait time is around 10 minutes to get your transaction in there. Things are moving they're flowing quite easy. There's no major lineups. And so what does that mean? That means that there's not a ton of activity there. There's activity for sure, but Runes was created so that it could be a casino, and a casino that would be of benefit to the miners. And since the launch of Runes, I guess the expectation hasn't quite been met. So there's been this scrambling within the community to try to get Runes to their glory days again. And they've tried a couple of different things, and now they're trying something new. What are they doing? They're leaving Bitcoin and going over to Solana. Yeah. They're just leaving Bitcoin and going over to Solana because they're looking at the pump fun model over at Solana, and they're saying, yeah, those guys are having way too much fun. In fact, within a 7-day period, I think it was 7 days, Solana actually pulled in about $23 million in fees. $23 million in fees. So
Wow.
if you're in the back rooms and you're looking at those numbers, that's in 7 days. So you probably want some of those tasty fees. So one of the largest projects on Runes right now, some of you know that project, they have just merged over to Solana. The whole point of the project was to bring people to Bitcoin. That was the presentation. Was, first of all, Runes were to keep the miners happy and mining blocks and giving them incentive to keep our beautiful Bitcoin protected. And then the next incentive was to provide an onboarding for normies to come to Bitcoin through this wonderful meme coin, roof, go to moon. And it turns out, I guess, that there's still some challenges. So now they're headed back to Solana. Yeah. So there's a bridge that's leaving, and it's moving from orange to purple. I mean, people, you can go wherever you want, but let's be honest here. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are your thoughts on projects moving over to Solana? You can go wherever you want, like I said. But are we forgetting why we're here for Bitcoin? I mean, I'm on many different chains. I'm on Base. I have the pump fun stuff. I have all of it. But the degree to which people are acting like Bitcoin is so slow and so like boomer, like it's a boomer chain. It's like, come on, peeps. Like, what is going on here?
Yes, indeed. But Solana and the Runes would like to, frankly speaking, they are not here for the check. They are here to find out exit liquidity. What I mean by that, maybe my words, could be quite strong, but the thing is, they are looking for and are desperate to find out exit liquidity. Why? Because first, they create like BRC-20. It's not working. Then they create pre-runes with runestone, etc. It's not working. But of course, few of them, cash out and make some money, like Leonidas and all the runes cabal. And then, they create runes with dogs, etc. Or some of them, cash out, and create also some wallet to cash out and find out the exit liquidity. And now we just witness that also, with the runes coin, one of the one of the founders of, can say, runes, Rock Toshia or stuff like that. Do you remember when he created Solana meme coin and dump on his community? And now what we have again with this pump and dump team on Bitcoin. Now they try to create own DIN firm, but not on Bitcoin. It's not definitely not on Bitcoin. It's on ICP blockchain. It's on other blockchain. And they are lying to their community when they say they are on Bitcoin. They are definitely not on Bitcoin, because the thing is that your dog runes, your pups runes, etc. You can't use them and swap them on DIN phone, because they are Bitcoin assets, and unfortunately, they are not, swappable and tradable on that kind of on the ICP blockchain. So I definitely believe that Rune is dead, because first there is more and more people in the community who are fed up with this pump and dump from the team. They are lying to their community. They are not here to build anything, and basically Runes is only shitcoin that even the Chinese don't like, or in the US or anyone. And also, the thing is, compared to Stamps and SRC-20, on Stamp we got the art, so we can back some art if you want on the token, or you can set up any use case on Stamp and SRC-20. So unfortunately for the holders of runes, unfortunately for them, it's gonna take time before runes reappear in the crypto space. And I definitely believe now that with all the things they are doing, the team basically, now the people don't want to be part of that kind of stop and go strategy, and running from eye to eye. So that's what I have to say now. So I prefer to stick on Stamp and SRC-20. And yeah, if Runes people are listening to this space, they are most welcome on Stamps. If you like they are looking to build something strong, or they are creating, or they are artists, welcome on Stamp and SRC-20, folks. Try to follow the ethos of Bitcoin, and trying to work on the long term, and have patience and have long-term strategy, and that kind of thing that always wins. That's what I have to say. Unfortunately for the rules holders.
Stamp Kevin Fairdog, you asked to be a speaker. Do you want to jump in on this?
Hello. Yeah, I'm not used to speaking on these things, so I'll give it a shot here. You're talking about dog, and I want to make everyone alert to the hottest dog on the market here on Bitcoin over the last day or two is the Fair Dog, the counterparty token on OpenStamp yesterday did a 5x. And what's going on now is the Chinese community is going nuts for this token. And it had even, I think, maybe 2 or 3 times the volume on OpenStamp than the stamp token. So it is on fire. And I tweeted about it today. And I was just suggest everyone to, if they're into that type of thing, this is hopefully the next dog token that's going to take over the Bitcoin space. And it is the Fair Dog.
Yeah, no, this is really cool hearing from you. If you could come back for a second, I want to get more info on the Fair Dog, but I also want to get more info on you because I've never heard from you. I probably liked or reposted something that you've done, but I've never heard from you. Can you tell us a little bit more about you and how long you've been in Bitcoin and why you chose Counterparty Stamp? And are you in any of the other protocols on Bitcoin?
Okay. I started getting into crypto in 21, and Then when ordinals got hot in 23, I didn't jump into ordinals because I basically was too late, but I saw some videos on YouTube. Actually, the one or only video on YouTube, which is by a guy, Prestito, about SRC-20, and I started to check it out, and I started to mint Stamp and Bobo and Pizza, and then there was that 1 week interruption of the minting process, which was very frustrating. But I remember I was just waiting 24 hours for that when it was going to reopen, and it reopened. And I tried to mint as much Stamp as I could at that time. And basically, I've been an investor in Stamp and SRC-20 for the past 2 years, almost 2 years now, from the beginning. And I also have some Kevin and a few others, but Stamp's my number one. But yeah, so that's basically a brief summary on who I am and what I've done.
For sure. What made you come into Bitcoin? Like, did you just kind of step into it? Like, what made you walk into the Bitcoin world?
Well, back in 21, early 21, I got an email from one of my clients about I don't know if you ever heard of this, the Audius token. I don't think it's that popular anymore, about a music streaming crypto coin. And I just kind of stepped in from there. I started investing into Bitcoin and ETH and a few others. I was using centralized exchanges for a while, and then I got off those just in time before they all before they all crashed. Yeah, just slowly got into it. And I didn't really understand the 4-year cycle back in 21, so I didn't really know how to take profits. So I've kind of been round tripping everything. But the good thing is I've been DCAing these whole last 3 or 4 years into my coins, and currently I'm up quite a bit on Bitcoin. But I'll be taking profits. I have been taking profits, and then we will be taking lots of profits this year on my coins.
Yeah, it's something that we forget to do, right? Like, I mean, we do have to take profit because that's the whole name of the game. If we want to like stack sats and keep building, you've got to be able to take profits. Can you give us more info on the fair dog stuff? Like, I've seen it floating around. I personally haven't jumped into it, but do you mind like sharing how the fair dog thing got rolled out?
Yeah, it was an XCP token on Counterparty. Now there are 2 sites that right now that are like, it's called Fairmints. There's the one site called fairmints.io, another site called firemints.xyz. That is, I think that's done by the SRC pad group. And then OpenStamp eventually put a few tokens on their market too. So back in, what was it? Back, I think, in September. Well, Mints was the first counterparty token, and then there was a few others. But for some reason, Fairdog was the one that had the right tokenomics, and that was pretty easy to mint. The mints, when I minted all my Fairdog, it was really cheap. It was only like $2 a mint for 10,000 tokens. So compared with the Stamp and Kevin mints, that's nothing. So I minted a whole bunch of those, and it was kind of stuck at 50% minting for a long time, for like a few months. And then all of a sudden, around the turn of the year in January, the Chinese community, I guess they had some kind of space or something. I don't know, because I don't speak or read Chinese, but it just caught on with that community, and they're going crazy over it. And I'm just shocked. I'm also in contact with another large holder of Fairdog, and we're just like, we can't believe what's going on right now, because today it went from like 5 sats to 10 sats, which is amazing. So it's on fire. The token's on fire now. We don't know how far it's going to go. I think a lot of it depends on if the Fireman's site can really get their market going, and more markets come on, and even maybe eventually a SEX lists it. But right now, all the volume's on OpenStamp. Fairmints only has one token in their market, I think Pepifair, and then for some reason, the Firemints XYZ site, they're not getting any volume. I guess it's kind of confusing to sell because you have to bond UTXOs to your sales orders with them, and it's not easy to use like OpenStamp. OpenStamp is pretty basic, pretty straightforward, and they're getting lots of traffic.
Okay, wow. So yeah, I see that. If you go to openstamp.io, Marketplace, XCP, then there's FairDog, XCP, Mints, and Pepe Fair. I will say this because we're on the Universe wallet. People, if you're listening to this and you're wondering, okay, what are they talking about? We're talking about the protocol of Stamp, and the Stamp is on top of Bitcoin. Okay, so if you're interested in protocol Stamp, then please pay attention to the fact that the Universe is about to support that protocol with the SRC-20 side of things. And they currently have a marketplace that they have set up for the artwork. Okay. Thanks for the information about the FairDog. I'm absolutely going to look into that. And now I'm just going to shill for a moment some of the stuff that the Universe is doing in regards to Stamp. So if you want to jump into the artwork, then the Universe has a marketplace that allows you to buy stamp artwork. So you can pick up some stamps right now. Just go to tapwallet.io, click marketplace, and hit stamp. If you're interested in the tokenomics, and it sounds like the Chinese community is, Bitcoin Ape even mentioned that, and I've heard this, that the Chinese community are not as excited about runes. It's just not a thing that caught on for the Chinese community. And why am I, or any of us, mentioning the Chinese community? Because they are leaders in the crypto space, believe it or not. Yes, population matters, and they are leaders in the space. And they are sometimes a leading indicator as to if projects will pick up speed or not. Because if Asia gets onto it, then you better believe that you're going to see it trending, and you're going to see it moving in a trajectory, namely up. Okay, so the Asian community is big into stamps, and they love the tokenomic side of things. I mean, if you were around for Stamp Kevin or Luffy, you will know what I'm talking about. My goodness, that was a rise. Yeah, Luffy. Okay, but here, this is not financial advice. What I can tell you is the Universe is going to bring the SRC-20 side of things to the wallet. We're in February now. I can see the back chats in the back rooms that they are working on building out the marketplace for the tokens so that we can trade them here. Hopefully, we'll be able to even trade that FairDog. Okay, but definitely the SRC-20 tokens. And one of the tools, because I always say the Universe is all about tools, one of the tools that they offer anyone that is interested in stacking sats for their specific protocol, because the Universe actually supports all the protocols. We talked about runes a bit. They support runes, people. So you can pick yourself up a rune 0, and I'll shill a little bit more later what a rune 0 does. But iStamps, okay? What do iStamps do? Well, if you believe that SRC-20 tokens are going to be traded in the future at the velocity that they are traded on the other marketplaces, well, Stamp has its own outreach too. Universe has its own outreach too. There's a lot of people that come to the Universe for the TAP protocol. If things pop off, why wouldn't they slide over into the SRC-20 Stamp world? They can do that within the Universe wallet. And so if you believe that there could be more traffic coming, then you may want to pick up one of the tools, which is the iStamps. You can earn 50% monthly marketplace revenue with iStamps. Yeah, it sounds like a commercial. It is, okay? It's a shill. My goodness, people. How do you think things get paid for, okay? If you're in your house right about now, look around. Who paid for it? It's you. You went to work. So I'm going to work here, people. You can earn 50% of the monthly marketplace revenue with iStamps. It's passive income for life. You hold a minimum of 10. Yeah, just 10. Now, for a while here, we've been kind of at this point where there's still 560 remaining, there will come a point where there will be none remaining. Yeah, all 560 will be minted out, and the cost is just 0.0002 BTC. Once that's minted out, they go in rounds of 1,000. There was 21,000 period. That is the total supply, and reserved in the background is 18.5. So they'll bring them out in rounds of 1,000, and then guess what? That'll go up. Yeah, what will go up? The price will go up. So if you're holding your iStamps, please be patient, because as you build, you know that things can take sometimes longer, and things in Bitcoin can move slow, and then all of a sudden they can pop off. You don't want to be trying to pick up tools once things pop off. And the other thing you can do with these is you can resale them. Yeah, you can pick up more if you want, and you can resell them to others that may want to get in, and they may not be able to because they're all minted out. Also, if you are a part of the universe airdrops, then you can get multipliers. For every iStamp that you hold, you get a 2x multiplier on airdrops. Now I'm going to go back and just let's get into the stamp discussion. Listen, Kevin mentioned, the Kevin that just spoke mentioned Presido. He's a big deal. If you want to find out a little bit more about SRC-20, he's a YouTuber that really. Did somebody want to jump back in here?
Oh yeah, I just want to say he is the OG of SRC-20.
Tell us.
He had the only video on SRC-20 in the beginning, the only one. That guy, he knows what's hot before it's hot. So I don't take all of his picks, but I would say a good share of his picks are gold. So I have high respect for that guy. He knows what he's doing.
Okay, let's I'm gonna challenge you on that, but before I do, I'm gonna agree with you also, and I'm gonna say go over to YouTube, click in the search bar PRESTITO crypto, Presito crypto. He has about he's got a ton of videos here. Like, I said at the top of the show, this is not financial advice, but if you go in the search bar of his page and you hit SRC-20, we're plugging him. I hope he plugs us. Yeah, if you hit SRC-20, oh my goodness, good on him. How many videos has he done? Yes, sir. Please come forward for your award. And the award goes to Presido. He's done how many here? OMG. He's done quite a bit of videos. Even on BRC-20, folks. Okay, so
he also has a Telegram group that's really good. I suggest everyone join his Telegram group.
See what shilling looks like, people? This is what shilling looks like. You've got to get the information out there or nobody will know. Do not be afraid to shill, okay? Because that's what Bitcoin is about. I mean, in the beginning of Bitcoin was at like 2 or 3 cents. They literally were going to, at the highways and the byways, university campuses. There are people that just got Bitcoin like dumped on them. Hey, you want 10,000 Bitcoin? And some people said no. They're like, no, I don't want your scam. And some people literally took that. There's a guy, in fact, he has 100,000 Bitcoin, got it at 3 cents. Well, those 100,000 Bitcoins are now worth, what's Bitcoin out right now, people? Let me just take a quick look. $95,000. Okay, so this guy can basically do whatever he wants to do. Yeah, he can hire people to just do stuff for him because he took the shill serious and he took that free airdrop and look where he is now. So that's what Bitcoin did in the beginning. It was shilling everywhere. So this is the art of the shill. I will say this though, the Presido guy, he's pretty great. You can go to his YouTube, maybe even look him up on X. But Chico Crypto is how I found out about SRC-20. And I'm not sure if he was maybe the first, but does it even matter? But that's how I found it.
No, he was not the first, but I do remember his video that he mentioned it, but it wasn't before Presido.
I believe you, sir. I definitely believe you because it sounds like you know your stuff. So yeah, so if you're in these spaces and places, and if you're not sharing, then people won't know. So you've got to start sharing. And so that's why I want to get into the conversation of the SRC-20 stuff, because there's a ton of stuff happening with Stamp and SRC-20. Bitcoin Ape, do you want to get back in here? What's happening right now?
Yeah. You Stamp and SRC-20.
Yeah, just any of it, like anything that people should know, just to slowly ease themselves in. Like, why is this a game changer? Whatever you want to tell us.
Yeah, sure. Yes, indeed. Of course, now, as you know, as we are on Bitcoin and immutable and permanent on BTC, is like, holding some stamp or Kevin or even Luffy, but mostly Kevin and stamp is like holding BTC. Of course, it's quite hard to believe that kind of new paradigm, but the most native assets on BTC now are stamps and SRC-20, the most immutable also assets. So yeah, now I think it's going well. For sure, the more we are going deeper in this ecosystem, the more we understand that this is the way to be, because it's close to the ethos of Bitcoin. Even for the art, for Bitcoin stamps art as well, and mostly for because of art, because now we are entering. Why I'm saying that, because we are entering a new era, the era of tokenization, and for sure the most value data and the most value asset in the physical world. Most of them, like can say gold, diamond, oil, value data, some art as well, will be, and definitely will be stored on Bitcoin. And why? What on earth? Uh, we can use the most immutable and secure digital infrastructure in this world? Frankly speaking, this is Bitcoin. For the last now 15 years, 15 years, is showing that that it never stops, technology speaking. Block by block for the last 15 years now is moving and showing to the world that it's the most immutable and secure technology since the beginning of the humankind, since the people and human beings are creating technology, whatever it is, walls, wheels, fires, stone, whatever, electronics, train, computers now. And now we are, in this fourth or fifth or 10th, I think, technological revolution, bringing on this in the digital world. And for sure, now tokenization is one of the, I can say, sub-industry of this revolution. And we are seeing more and more companies and the large institutions over the world, who got a strong interest about tokenization. And now that they know about Bitcoin, they know about the digital currency. Some of them We are still early, of course, but some of them are watching what we can do now with Bitcoin, how we can store some maybe value data or commodities or any physical assets, and how we can use Bitcoin as, a proof of ownership, POO, no POW, like proof of work, but POO, proof of ownership. So I definitely believe now the tokenization era is coming, and we are witnessing this revolution. Bitcoin stamps and SRC-20 will be at the earth of this revolution on Bitcoin, and disrupting also, the economy through tokenization. And everybody now in the world with a wallet, with some Bitcoin, with few sats in their wallet, could change their life and could buy anything in the world, for sure, in a few years. So, of course, now is a long-term vision, but for the short term as well, I think we can be very bullish as we see, that we are still there. We have a strong community. The tech is there. The team is building. The exchange are watching us, so we can be bullish. And the more we are, going, the more, people will go for your stamp or for your Kevin, like they did for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin now, institution, Wall Street, the banks, the wealthy people take over Bitcoin. Unfortunately, they are taking over Bitcoin. Now you can buy Bitcoin for 100K, not less than 100K. What will happen? People, will see, new alternatives. So Stamp and Kevin have their play. And the thing is, the last thing I would like to say, why, we're going to be short on Bitcoin, is because now we got, countries like wealthy people, but we forget the large share, the largest share of the economy who will have a strong interest about Bitcoin. And what it is, folks? What it is? This is the companies, folks. Small and medium companies, who for sure in the few months or years to come, they will have strong interest to get some BTCs or SATs in their treasuries. And when we know there is only 2 or 3 million BTC available on the market, I'll let you imagine where we are going. So, no financial advice, of course, and with all the immunity I have to give, I really think that, Stamps and Kevin could be the play, because they are the well-distributed token. When nobody was, thinking about them, or, think it could be the next Bitcoin. So it gives a chance for some folks to mint and to get a fair mint for this token. Fortunately, because we was still in the shadow, but now more and more we are going, more and more we'll be in the light, and more people will understand that Stamp and Kevin could be the next Bitcoin. That's my play now for this ecosystem. And of course, we got also art, a great artist on this ecosystem. So even you don't get Stamp or Kevin, you can have some piece of art made of Bitcoin, of course. So bullish for short, as you heard through that, short, medium, and long term for BTC, and for Stamp and SRC-20 for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. You know, and as you're talking there, I'm thinking, uh, SRC-20 people, they're basically rug proof. President Tudera should have perhaps looked at SRC-20 to launch his country's token. Why? Because, hey, you can stack sats too, Mr. President. And you can give your people a real opportunity to join in on that and stacking sats. And I got to tell you, as I'm listening to you and as I'm listening to Kevin, and as I'm thinking about, okay, why are we here? We're here to try to store energy away for the future. What energy? Our own energy. Okay. We can't go out there and be like in the trenches day and night. So we're hunting for something that can be our source of energy in the future that we can go to, and we can get that energy for our lives. Okay, so you just heard Kevin say that he minted something for $2. Yeah, for $2. I'm just going to break it down a different way, and that $2 mint right now is let's see what it went for last year. That $2 mint. Oh yeah. He basically 100x'd or more, obviously.
I'm not quite sure what it is net right now. I think 9 sats is at the floor right now on OpenStamp, but yeah, I've done at least a 30 or 40x. If I were to sell right now, at least a 30 or 40x on those mints.
Yeah.
That I did in October, but I'm not selling now. I mean, I'm going to wait and see what happens with the atomic swaps that are coming online soon, and the development of the whole counterparty token market, which is very exciting.
So how much energy did you have to put into the minting? Was it hours or days, or how long did it take you to mint?
I didn't do it all at once. I didn't stay. You know, like, okay, I think I'll mint 500,000 right now, and maybe it took an hour or so. I mean, you got to time it so when the mempool is low and not busy, and the fees are cheap. And that wasn't the case when I was minting stamp back in 23. That was like during the orders frenzies when those Bitcoin fees were going crazy. So no, it was. But the thing about Faradog was that for the longest time it just stalled at like 50% minted, and then within like a day around New Year's it minted out, and I was shocked. I'm like, what happened? And the Chinese discovered it. That's what happened.
Okay, so as far as like how much time did it take you to actually mint the token? Like your physical
well,
time?
you could do. I think you could do 10 minutes at a time or something like that, and so it didn't take long at all. I mean, the actual process was clicking a few buttons. Then you got to wait for it to process and go through the mempool. So that depended on on the traffic and all that.
So would you say like an hour, or like, I mean, in total, or less?
Oh, 1 mint took. I mean, 1 mint to actually do the work and let a few seconds.
Okay.
A few buttons. Boom. Yeah.
So there you go. So, because I like to make points just to relate it to the real world, because you never know who's going to listen to this, because these conversations do end up on the YouTube. And sometimes when you're in the protocols and the spaces and you're talking, like, you get the understanding and the language. But if you're brand new, like I'm literally saying, somebody took 10 minutes or less to mint a token that was minted in sats for the equivalent of say $2, and they've just shared that the token sat there for a bit, I don't know, some months and what have you, but it was at work. It was at work. There was work happening in the background, and lo and behold, they've now 30x'd based on a 10-minute mint, or 10 minute or less. So when you're looking at storing future energy, that is future energy. That's energy that you don't have to go out there and be grinding out in the streets of the real world. That's the power of crypto currently, and that's the strength of actually stacking sats. to turn your sats from, just, I'm not sure how much sats that was that you minted, but currently that would be, you would have,
It was very small.
how many sats was
It
that?
was very small. It was only $2. So, whatever that was at the time.
Yeah, so it's
very small.
7.6 sats today. 7.6
I-
sats today. So he's like 30x. So I think the point is that if you're going to make it out alive of this system, you have to look for opportunities where you can actually build your future without having to run as hard as we have to in the world today. And if you can do that through Bitcoin, if you can do that through these tokens and stacking sats, then that's the beauty of it, people. It's almost like you go ahead.
Yeah, that's what one thing I really love about being in this space here of this in the SRC-20 and Counterparty is that we do everything with it's all Bitcoin. We want to sell a token. It's into Bitcoin, not ETH, not Solana, not USDT. It's Bitcoin. So it's like, okay, well, let's say I want to sell some of my, Kevin or whatever. I'm selling it into Bitcoin. So that means, oh, great. So I can hold on to that Bitcoin, and maybe in a few months that Bitcoin will 2x itself. So that's one thing I really love about this space. And number two, specifically about the SRC-20 over the runes or the other ones, the BRC-20, is that we have hands down the most immutable, permanent, best token on Bitcoin. Hands down. It ain't even competition. At any time, you don't know, your BRC-20s could vaporize. Your runes could be gone. That's not going to happen with Stamp. That's not going to happen with Kevin.
Well, you can imagine. Okay, there's 21 million Bitcoin, and here's something else that I like to sometimes think about. There's 21 million, and as we know, there are going to be lifetime hodlers. Mr. Michael Saylor is a hodler. He's even mentioned recently that he will basically destroy his keys upon exiting the world. So, and he's doing that as a service to us. I mean, much of his Bitcoin will be in smart contracts that he will more than likely gift to different charities that he chooses. So his will be distributed through these smart contracts. But as far as getting access to the Bitcoin, the keys will be destroyed. So that's supply that's taken out of the 21 million. Okay. And Kevin just mentioned, okay, if I want to buy on top of Bitcoin into any of the memes, you got to buy in Bitcoin and sell in Bitcoin. So you're buying in sats, selling in sats. So that means there's a ton of Bitcoin within these protocols. There's a ton of Bitcoin here. So think about it. So if you're a SEX, a centralized exchange, and you're needing Bitcoin, guess what you're going to do? You're going to come and you're going to put on your best game, and you're going to come and tell all the people that are sitting here thinking that, we're just trading these useless meme coins and they're not going anywhere, and Solana's just like the better chain. No, they're going to come here and they're going to set up. They're going to set up shops and railways and listings because they want to extract those useless coins that you thought were useless out of your hands. Why? Because there's sats in those useless coins. There's sats in those useless coins. Yes. Your wallet, my wallet, if you've been minting, it's filled with sats. Okay? Those coins are useless to you and I. Once they're extracted out of our hands, let's see how useless they are then. Okay? So many of the SEX the exchanges, they'll come here and they'll say, okay, we'll list. So you will have to hand over your sats and exchange it for their stable coin, and then you can start trading. And they just got you off of the sats train. So there's a deeper rabbit hole there, people. But I think the powerful thing here is that we have these coins that are in sats. Okay, we get to go and mint for $2 and then hopefully sell for 30x that, 100x that, and then we are closer to that whole coin. Everybody should become a whole coiner in Bitcoin, and everybody should try their hardest to, maintain that access to that, because membership will have its privilege in the future. You will want to be a Bitcoin holder. Things are changing quite quickly, and I see that there is a trend right now. There's a trend of thinking that, Bitcoin needs are slow. There's no liquidity here. And in some cases, those things are true. People are dumping Bitcoin to go to Solana, and you can do that, but think about it. The only thing that you get over at Solana is, more Solana. That is, there's endless amounts of Solana, people. There's not a limited supply of Solana. Okay, so just do the supply and demand thing. So Solana can keep printing and printing and printing and printing. Bitcoin can't. It's 21 million. That's it. And that's why I like being on top of Bitcoin, and I kind of like Stamp for some of the reasons that were given. The immutability of Stamp, I think, is really key. And if you are a builder and you're a serious builder and you're wanting to build projects that will last, I think that more and more builders are going to take a look at Stamp, which leads me to another shill. Yeah, I'm going to shill again. Here's the shill that I'm going to do, people. Name registration. Who's looked into that? Name registration, SRC 101 domain registration. Bitname Services, they are a name registration builder, and they chose Stamp to build on top of Stamp, because if you're going to have a domain name, you want it to be on a secure protocol. So if you are interested in getting yourself ready for domain name services, then you may want to go over to Bitname Services and go and read their orange paper. Don't just jump into things. Make sure you get the research and jump into the research of it all and take a look at it. If you register any names through Bitname Services, all of the names are permanent. There's no expiry. So unlike ETH, where you will register a name and it has an expiry, there's no expiry here. So the universe is actually partnered with them because they obviously want to make sure that they're going to be the place that people come to for some of these new and exciting things. And domain names may not mean much right now, but pay close attention. As Bitcoin starts to pop off, then you're probably going to want a time machine. So if you want to go over to tapwallet.io, and if you hit register, first thing you might want to do, in fact, is if you have a Tap wallet, a Universe wallet, go and get a name for your wallet. Why would you want to get a name for your wallet? Because you can actually chat with other wallet holders. The Universe is one of the first Bitcoin on-chain messengers, and you can actually grab a name for your wallet, and then that is your wallet's name. And if you're entering any of their contests, your name of your wallet is actually your address. So that's kind of cool. And if you are also in the Discords, you will note that they give you multipliers for having some of the tools. And if you have name registration, well, that is a 2x multiplier on any of your airdrops. So let's get back to this name registration. Once your name is registered, head over tools, hit chat. And like I said, you can start talking. And you will note that if you're over at the marketplace, you can actually chat with anyone that has listed something on the marketplace, providing that they do have a name attached to their listing. So for instance, we have here, let's see who's got a name here. We have somebody trying to sell some bitmaps here. If you go over to Marketplace, hit bitmaps, you'll see LFG tap. There's a little pink bubble there. If you press that pink bubble, then you're able to talk with them and you can maybe say, hey, I want to buy that, but I need you to decrease the price. So that is very cool. And if you're chatting, you can use emojis. Now, if you want to register a .sats, so if you wanted to register car.sats, if you wanted to register fairdog.sats, Kevin.sats, I mean, they're probably gone, but you can do that. It's 0.0002 BTC to register. That's the minimum base price for registering names. So think about it and think about picking up some names that are probably going to be wanted in the future, like pizza.sats, already gone. Michael Saylor.sats, already gone. Okay, so there's .sats. You can pick those up, or you can go to .btc and pick those up. And they're built on SRC-20. So that's part of the point is the builders are coming to SRC-20. Sure, there are domain names that originally came out under the Unisat umbrella, but they do not have the immutability that these domain names have, and they do not have the utility that these domain names have. With your .btc and your .sats, they in effect become your wallet address. So as we move further and further into crypto currently, we're going to find that we don't need bank accounts. No, we're not going to need bank accounts. You don't need to go to your local bank and sit down and fill out paperwork, because your wallet is going to be, you know how they say don't leave home without it? You're going to be able to carry this wallet with you everywhere. Literally everywhere. Yeah, you don't have to. Remember traveler's checks? Does anybody remember traveler's checks? You'd go on vacation and obviously you want to bring a fair bit of money with you and you need, you might not want to use a credit card. There were traveler's checks. People literally went to I don't even think they exist anymore. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, people. Things in crypto currently are moving at a pace where everything is going to be on chain. Everything is going to be digital. And so literally these domain names could eventually just represent your bank account. Yeah, they could represent your bank account and you'll never leave home without it. So think about how you are going to play this game, because it is a game. It's an attention game. A lot of us are sitting here wondering, okay, when is Kevin going to do this? When's Kevin going to do that? When's Stamp going to do that? By the way, have you looked at the holders on Stamp? Why are the holders on Stamp? Why does it keep increasing? Okay. And for the fair dog stuff, I'm going to keep an eye on that. There's 516 holders. If holders are increasing, then you have lightning in a bottle. But I'm looking at Stamp. And the holders keep on rising. And so I'm wondering why it's steadily rising. Like what is happening?
I know why.
Tell me why.
There's someone from the Telegram group that's been sending 10 stamp to tons of people. You can check out like the high end of the users, and you can see this guy's on a crusade to add holders to Stamp.
He's sending people Stamp?
Yeah, like 10 at a time. Just go on to Open Stamp and check out the holders, and then go to the bottom of like you'll see. A bunch of addresses have like 10 stamp each.
Wow, what is he, like a fairy god stamper?
He's just trying to pump it up. He's trying to get, it's been. I've been following the stamp price from the very beginning. From even before.
Did you mint?
Yeah, I'm an original minter. I've held all my mints. I've not sold one SRC-20 ever. I have all of my mints, and I've ridden this roller coaster. It's been a crazy roller coaster for the past 2 years, but I have a level where I'm just not going to give it up. And we're nowhere near that level yet. But
what's your level? What's your level?
Around $1.
Oh my God. Jeez.
So yeah, but you know, the bottom line is two things are happening now. Number one, there's no eyes on this sector of we're not in the narrative right now. So like we were way back in 2024. And number two, you know, the thing that's killing Stamp is just, you know, we haven't had a listing in a year. The KuCoin was really the last listing we had, and it's been a year of just, you know, the only time it pumps is when we get those Binance tweets, you know, and that generates some excitement, and then it just fades. So we need a listing. You know, we need listings. We need dexes. There was that whole Swamps program, which has turned into a complete fiasco. I won't get into that, but
you can say anything you want.
I mean, I minted a bunch of that stuff too. It didn't cost very much money, and I should have sold it all, but that's just been a complete fiasco. And you know, they keep changing developers and people that invested in it are where's my money? I want my money. So I'm not expecting anything to come of that, but we just need more, you know, more volume, more liquidity, and more listings. And they'll come. It's just a matter of time. I hope they come this year, because if they don't, then we're gonna have to wait for another few years. You know, so the time is now. Something's gonna happen over the next few months here. I'm hoping. You know, just having KuCoin is not enough. We need an OKX. We need, you know, Binance. We need something. We need a gate to get us going. And until that, I mean, the community is great. The community is still strong. The Telegram group is still relatively active. Twitter, I see Stamp posts every day on Twitter, all over the place. It's just we need another break. We need another catalyst. And there really hasn't been a serious catalyst since the KuCoin listing, when we hit that all-time high of 17 cents. Ever since then, we've just been hovering, went down to 6 cents for a long time. Then we hit a floor last September at about a cent, and I bought more at that time. And
so you're stacking more Stamp?
I bought more Stamp when I hit a floor in September. Yeah, it went down to 1 cent, and I bought more. I knew that was going to be a bottom, and I bought more. And then we've been in this range now, this 0.024 to 4 or 5 cent range now for the past 3 or 4 months.
What has you so convicted? Like, what has you like, because you're locked in, like, just for those that don't know, like when you minted Stamp, because I was a minter over here too. Like the mints, I don't know, like what did they cost at the time? It was expensive, I think, because the mempool.
Yeah, I think they were around maybe 60, 70, 80 bucks or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 60 bucks.
Yeah, I mean, Minnie Kevin, I heard, I was too late for Kevin, but Kevin was more. Too. Kevin was right at the peak of Ordi, when everyone was minting Ordi, I think, or around that time when the mempool fees were ridiculous. But I just remember minting Stamp. It was kind of the website was very clunky. It wasn't reliable. And then there was that pause where they had to shut it down for like a week or so. And by the time they reopened it, you know, a lot more people were new about it at that time. I was just like, my first mints, I think I minted one Stamp mint and one Bobo mint, I think. But I didn't know the potential. I didn't understand it. I didn't know that there was going to be great demand of this at that time. I saw us try it out, see what it's like. And then it wasn't until that 1 week pause that I realized that, oh my God, you know, this is going to be a gold mine. So I was just waiting. I was up 24 hours waiting for them to turn it back on. And then when they turned it back on, I went nuts. I submitted like 15 or 16 mints at the highest fee I could. And only half of them went through. They didn't all go through. But I got some of them in. I got half of them in. And that's what I got. So.
Well, listen to that, people. Like, literally, okay, what's the high? I think the high, the all-time high, just so that you can get an idea of the power of the minting. So if you have an opportunity to mint in Bitcoin, I mentioned at the top of the show, like the universe has a special mint going on. It doesn't mean the mint is going to actually work out. Be careful in Bitcoin. Just because you mint, it doesn't mean it's going to work out. But mints are where you have opportunities. Like I mentioned that right now, the universe is doing something for BRC-20. It's doing a FEHU BRC-20 symbol IDO of the iconic symbol of the first etch runes and the first letter of the runes alphabet. Now the first BRC-20 with utility. Hold just 0.05 of the supply to gain exclusive access to the first runes telegram alert and copy trading bot. Okay. If you want a slice of that, then you'd head over to tools. You would go down to IDO, click BRC-20, and then you can get more information on that. Minting does not guarantee you anything, but what you just heard Kevin say and what I've experienced is that minting in the SRC-20 world has produced some interesting things. Literally, you could have minted 100,000 stamp, right, for $60. Yeah, $60. And today, and this is at a low, that $60 is now 0.03 BTC. 0.03 BTC. Like, people, do the math here. Do the math, okay?
Yeah.
0.03 BTC, like, you know, it's about $3,400, but it's not really the dollars. It's the fact that we took like sats and turned them into 0.03 BTC. We're getting closer to the whole coin. If a centralized exchange, like, which centralized exchange would you like to see list this, Kevin?
Oh, Binance, obviously. Binance or OKX. If we get either of those,
say we get
Stamp
Binance. Say we get Binance.
Oh, Stamp's going to $1 easily. $1, boom.
Why?
Easily. Why? Because the volume's going to be intense. The people are going to flock to it. It's going to attract tremendous amount of liquidity and volume. Now, I don't know if it's going to stay at $1, but it's going to shoot up to $1 and maybe settle back down, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But it just depends on the more the better. Look what Ordi did. Ordi went to $1 billion. Went to $1 billion, and that was back in 23, right? So now we're in the bull run. So imagine what Stamp or Kevin will do if it gets on Binance. It could get to over $1, $1 or $2, $3. Now it's not going to stay there the whole time, and then it's going to crash. Yeah, when Bitcoin crashes at the end of the bull run at the end of this year. But I mean, looking at what's happened so far with Stamp, if you had sold it at the high, which was last February when KuCoin listed it, it got up to 17 cents. So I don't know what the Bitcoin was. The Bitcoin was only about to be 40,000 at that time, I think, right? 40, 50,000. But if you had sold it at the high at that time, that's each mint was $17,000. But then if you just kept it in Bitcoin, then you could have doubled that right now. So
are you starting to get the magic here? Because the thing is, like, okay, so based on what you've shared with us, right? Because it doesn't always work out this way. I need to repeat, just because you mint something, it doesn't mean it's going to, and something's going to happen. You can have stuff in your wallet and it'll be dead for months and months and months and months, okay? But at some point, somebody with a much more creative mind and an understanding of what they're dealing with, because sometimes, people find gold and they just throw it in a corner because they don't know what to do with it until somebody comes to town and says, I can make jewelry out of that. I can put a diamond on that, and then now that's called, like, jewelry that everybody wants and that celebrities will wear, and then people will want it just because we changed the use of it. Okay. So we don't know what we have here. We literally don't. So literally you had a situation here where you minted something for 0.006 BTC. Okay. And then that turned into, at the high anyhow, that turned into 0.18 BTC. So you went from $60 to $17,000.
Actually, 0.18, 18 cents. So I don't know what the Bitcoin was at that time. So, or 17 cents actually. So yeah. Whatever $17,000 in Bitcoin terms was back in on February 28th, 2024. I don't know. It was $50,000 per Bitcoin back then, right? Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that would make point 0.3 something, 0.36 or something like that.
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So now that 0.36 doubled, and it's now worth almost $36. So, and it'll be worth even more at the end of later this year when Bitcoin itself goes up more. And with all this that's happening with Bitcoin now, I mean, Bitcoin, if the strategic reserve gets established, which it probably will, and there's game theory and countries start creating their own strategic reserves, we're not going to be seeing any more under 100,000 Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin might just keep slowly going up forever. And I don't know about the alts. The alts are a different story. But so you can keep, so I guess I'll have to say non-financial advice, but what my strategy would be investing in something like Kevin or Stamp right now, and then make sure it goes up a lot. Make sure you sell some off. You keep it in Bitcoin, and just hold that until the next bear market in about a year, and then go back and buy what you want to buy and hold that till the next bull.
Yeah, it's a patience game. It's not you can't get rich quick overnight. If you're here in Bitcoin and try to do that, like, you better just forget about it, pack it up, and maybe find yourself over in Solana and be prepared, because they pump and then they dump. Bitcoin is a long-term strategy. It's a game now that has been taken over by the system, by the governments, by the corporates. And if you want to know where it's going, kind of follow the trajectory maybe of gold, okay? Maybe of some of the assets in the TradFi space. Because once TradFi finds something that it deems as valuable, they have a process and they have a way to shake people out. And then, lo and behold, that is the thing that becomes the moneymaker for them, right? If you were around for the .com stuff and you were in any of those tech stocks, there was a ton of shakeout, but there was some really valuable stuff there. People became independently wealthy because of Apple, independently wealthy because of Google, independently wealthy because of a lot of the Facebooks and all of that. So people, it's a patience game. Like, I'm glad you mentioned, hey, you may have to go through a bear market. Be prepared. Just because go ahead.
Yeah. The two most important things here in investing are having patience and having conviction. You can talk to anyone that's been in crypto that went through like the 2017 cycle. Anyone that's been in crypto that long, they're probably very wealthy right now because they've been through a few cycles, and they bought in very low, and they didn't panic sell. Also, never panic sell. Panic selling is the number one do not do, no matter what. I mean, even with Stamp, I could have panic sold. There's so many people panic sold their Stamp. They're going to be regretting it in a few months. They're going to be sorry. That's all I can say.
Yeah, if you're in the space of Bitcoin, please have a plan. Okay, so one of the things that I heard Bitcoin Ape saying, that I heard you saying, is that there's a ton of opportunity. Have a strategy, and a part of the strategy should be when do I exit? Okay, when do I exit? Because you do have to take profit. I know some people are saying, oh, you can keep it forever, but then how are you going to access the profit? And I know that TradFi is going to come and tell you, and I'm not going to get into it. They're going to say you can borrow from it. And by the way, I'm saying this is me personally. This is not the universe. Anything I say is independent of the universe. I'm just the host here. They're giving us a tremendous opportunity to get the tools. So that's why you should go to tapwallet.io and figure out how you can start using some of those tools to mint, to get into some of these opportunities, because they are like potential golden eggs for you. But listen, this is not financial advice here, people, but the TradFi will come and tell you, hey, you can access that through loans. I believe that Stamp, specifically the token, specifically the tokenomics, they'll choose some of the tokens, the blue chips of the SRC-20, and you will potentially, I always have to say that because I don't have a crystal ball. You'll be able to borrow, use that as collateral. Yeah, use it as collateral. I said that. Okay, me specifically. That's where my imagination, my brain computer, based on patterns, recognition, and based on coming from TradFi myself in the retail side, I can see them creating products that allow you to tap into your equity in the stamps. Yes, I can see that. So I would caution anyone to stay away from borrowing. Stay away from borrowing. Stay away from borrowing. I said that 3 times. Yeah. Anything that you've ever done in life and that has involved borrowing, it can be a tricky, sticky situation. I know that if you're an entrepreneur, yeah, you got to borrow, you got to be part of the credit system. But if you're getting in crypto, I would not put borrowing and crypto together. That's just a personal thing. Okay. So you got to learn how to know when to take profit, because you must. Oh, people. Uh-oh.
Microwave. Okay.
Listen. I'm going to mute myself. Bitcoin Ape, you're going to have to take over this space. I got to mute myself.
Is it okay? Are you all right?
I might not be.
No?
Listen, I do have to abruptly end this because I'm in a bit of a situation right now. This is very funny. But people, I'm going to end the space and I'm going to say this. Start doing the research. Go out there and figure out what you need to do. That's your alarm bell right now. The financial system is on fire. Go and make sure that you have your Bitcoin and have a plan ready. And I'm going to get on out of here. Okay. I do have to leave. We'll see you again, guys. Go to the universe, check out their tools, and we'll see you tomorrow because we have a really great space. Come back tomorrow. Thanks.
And keep safe.
Yes.